Have you ever done hundreds of crunches trying to lose belly fat? Or maybe you've seen influencers saying things like, do these 5 exercises to get rid of arm fat. Do this workout to burn lower belly fat. It sounds logical. Train a body part, lose fat from that body part. But there's one problem. That's not how fat loss works. Today, we're going to look at what the science actually says about spot reduction, why so many people believe it works, and what you should focus on instead if your goal is to lose body fat. The reason spot reduction sounds believable is because it feels believable. When you're doing crunches, your abs start burning. When you're doing tricep exercises, you feel your arms working. So naturally, many people assume the fat around that area is being burned as fuel. But the sensation you're feeling isn't fat burning, it's muscle fatigue. Another reason is social media. Every day we see videos claiming, get rid of belly fat with this exercise, lose arm fat in 10 minutes, shrink your waist with this workout. And when those videos are paired with impressive before and after photos, it's easy to assume the exercises caused the local fat loss. But correlation doesn't equal causation. Spot reduction is the idea that you can burn fat from a specific area of your body by exercising the muscles underneath it. For example, doing crunches to lose belly fat, doing tricep dips to lose arm fat, doing leg raises to slim your thighs. The theory sounds simple. Work the area, burn the fat. But human physiology doesn't work that way. Researchers have actually tested this idea, and the results are surprisingly consistent. In one study, participants trained only one arm for 12 weeks. If spot reduction were real, the trained arm should have lost more fat than the untrained arm. But that's not what happened. Fat loss occurred equally. There was no special fat reduction in the trained arm. Another study looked specifically at abdominal exercises. Participants performed targeted ab training for several weeks. The result? Their abdominal muscles got stronger, but their belly fat didn't decrease significantly compared to people who didn't do the ab program. Multiple studies and scientific reviews have come to the same conclusion. Spot reduction does not work. So if crunches don't burn belly fat, what does? The answer is a calorie deficit. When your body needs more energy than it's receiving from food, it starts using stored energy. Part of that stored energy comes from body fat. Hormones signal fat cells to release fatty acids into the bloodstream. Those fatty acids then circulate throughout the entire body. And this is the important part. They don't travel directly to the muscle that's working. Your body pulls energy from fat stores across the entire body, not from the area you're training. That's why you can't choose where fat comes off first. Your genetics largely determine that. Some people lose fat from their face first. Others lose it from their arms. Others lose it from their stomach last. It's frustrating, but it's completely normal. Now, don't misunderstand this. Exercise is still incredibly important for fat loss, just not because it targets fat in specific locations. Exercise burns calories. Exercise helps preserve muscle while dieting. Exercise improves insulin sensitivity. Exercise improves health. And resistance training helps build muscle. That muscle becomes visible as your overall body fat decreases. This is where people often get confused. Someone trains their abs. Then they lose body fat. Eventually, their abs become visible. They assume the ab training burned the belly fat. But what actually happened is they lost body fat overall, and they built stronger abdominal muscles underneath. The result looks similar, but the mechanism is completely different. If your goal is fat loss, focus on the fundamentals. Maintain a moderate calorie deficit, eat enough protein, lift weights consistently, stay active, get enough sleep, manage stress, and most importantly, be patient. Fat loss doesn't happen exactly where you want it to happen, and it doesn't happen in the order you want it to happen. But if you're consistent, it does happen. Before we finish, let's summarize the key points. First, spot reduction is a myth. Multiple studies have tested it directly, and the evidence consistently shows that exercising a muscle does not cause greater fat loss in that specific area. Second, fat loss is a whole body process. When your body burns fat, fatty acids are released into the bloodstream from fat stores throughout your body, not just from the area you're training. Third, genetics play a major role. They largely determine where you lose fat first and where you lose it last. Unfortunately, that's not something you can control. Fourth, exercise is still one of the best things you can do for your health and body composition. It burns calories, helps preserve muscle, improves fitness, and supports long-term fat loss. Fifth, the proven formula for fat loss hasn't changed. A sustainable calorie deficit, adequate protein intake, resistance training, and consistency will outperform every fat-burning exercise you've seen on social media. And finally, targeted exercises are not useless. They build muscle in specific areas. As your overall body fat decreases, that muscle becomes more visible and creates the toned look most people are after. The result can look like spot reduction, but the science tells us that's not what's actually happening. The bottom line is simple. You cannot choose where your body burns fat. No exercise can magically target belly fat. No exercise can specifically burn arm fat. No exercise can remove love handles. What you can do is create the conditions for overall fat loss. A calorie deficit, consistent exercise, adequate protein, good recovery. That's the evidence-based approach. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, just science that actually works. If you enjoyed this video and want more evidence-based content on fat loss, nutrition, and training, subscribe to Fuelivo. See you in the next one.